What it do, Torque Crew? Alright, I'm just gonna say it. The Nissan VQ is the most overrated V6 for boost ever. Alright, I know half of you just clicked off and the other half are already typing the comments, but hear me out. For years, the internet has already been telling you to boost any V6 you find. But in 2025, some of these are great advice and some are just really financial mistakes. Today we're settling it in the 2025 tier list of V6 engines, specifically ranked for their boost potential. Alright, in our 4-point system, we're going to cover budget, reliability, aftermarket, and max potential. That's how we grade this. And if you've already watched some of my videos or any ranked video out there, you already know how we're going to tier this. Let's get into it. Starting at the bottom. Welcome to the F tier, the don't even think about it category. First, we have the Ford 3.8 liter V6 Essex. Found in the 90s and the early 2000s Mustangs. Yes, you can buy a supercharger kit, but why? The stock internals are weak, the head flows terribly, and for some money, you could just, buy a different car, really. At this point, just buy the V8, F tier. Next, we have the Chrysler 3.7 liter PowerTech, the gravel in a blender, engine from older Jeeps and Rams. These things are famous for dropping valve seals and overheating without boost. Adding a turbo is just asking for a $5,000 paperweight, F tier. Alright, next we got the GM 3.1 liter and the 3.4 liter V6, the 60 degree. Look, I love my 90s GMs as much as the next guy, but these are not performance engines. The aftermarket is a wasteland. You spend about $8,000 to make 300 horsepower, it's just not there, F tier. Next we got the Toyota 1MZ FE. This is a trap. This 3.0 liter V6 from the 90s and early 2000s Camrys. People see the Toyota V6 and think it's a 2GR, and it's not. It's aluminum block and the head bolts will pull the threads right out of the block under boost. It's 100% dead end. Next we got the Ford 3.0 liter SHO V6 Yamaha. The V6 from the 80s and 90s Taurus SHO. A legendary engine for its time, and the NA is great. But for boost, the aftermarket is zero. There's really nothing here to boost it. It's a pretty fragile engine, and you'll be turning it into a very expensive, unique scrap metal. F tier. Alright, the C tier is pretty controversial one. These engines can be boosted, but they fall at our number 1 and number 2 rules, the budget and reliability. So if you get mad in the comments, this is just my opinion, alright? And in our C tier, first up, we have Nissan VQ series, the VQ35DE and the VQ37VHR. Alright, why is it in C tier? Because for decades, new owners have been throwing 10 pounds of boost at a stock VQ35DE and have been shocked when the glass internals, well, it acts like a glass. The early ones are weak with bad rod bolts and ringlands. The VQ37 is really a lot better than the first one, but at the high compression, it makes it a little bit tricky. Yes, the aftermarket is S tier. You can find a lot of parts for these things, but do it right, and you need to build the motor. It really kind of fails like the budget and reliability test. It's a fantastic built engine, but not really good on a slap a turbo on it kind of engine. So we're just gonna put this one in the C tier. Next, we have the Chrysler 3.6 liter. This engine is everything. Wranglers, Challengers, minivans. It's great. It's reliable. It's an NA engine, but it has a high compression and a 100% open deck block. The only people making real power here are the ones that are using full forged internal kits, and that's why it's in C tier, because the buy-in option on this boost is not really great. To boost this one safely is going to really cost a lot of money. Next, we have the VW Audi VR6, the 3.2 and the 3.6. This one hurts to put in the C tier, but the sound is an S tier, but the reality of it is they are complex, parts are expensive, and they are notoriously difficult to tune. You can make power, but the budget kind of thing is out the window. It's a C tier passion project. And next we have the Mitsubishi 6G72. This one's a 90s legend. It came from the factory with twin turbos, so it might be good, right? Well, maybe not really. It's an iron block, which is good, but the stock internals are a gamble over the 12 to 14 PSI, and it's one of the biggest insanely complex and cramped engine bays on planet Earth. I think I'll pull a picture up right here. It fails the budget test and just labor alone. We're gonna put this one in the C tier. Next, we have the Honda C series, the C30A and the C32B. The original NSX engine, a literal masterpiece of engineering. So why is it in the C tier? Because it falls on our rule of number 1, the budget. It's harder than any engine on this list. A single bolt for this engine costs more than a whole J series. Boosting one for collectors and millionaires, but not builders, C tier. Now we're gonna be talking about the B tier, the sweet spot, the solid daily, and these engines can reliably make around 400 to 500 horsepower on stock internals, making them a smart choice for a fun street car. Next, we got the GM 3.6 liter LFX LLT. Found in the V6 Camaros and Cadillacs, this is the modern, reliable GM V6. The stock internals are not forged, but they are way stronger than people think. The aftermarket has come a long way, and simple supercharger kit will get you around that 450 horsepower all day long. Solid B-tier option. Next, we have the Honda J-Series, the J32, and the J35. This one's a hidden gem, a lot of people already know that. Yes, this engine is from your mom's Odyssey, but these things are tanks. They're all aluminum forged cranks, and they can handle about 450 to 500 wheel horsepower on a completely stock block. The only reason it's not an A tier is the kit aftermarket isn't as bolt-on as others, but for budget, this is a B tier king. Up next, we got the Hyundai 3.8 liter V6. We got the Gen 2. The Genesis Coupe engine, this is basically Hyundai's VQ, but better. It's stronger, more reliable under boost, and the aftermarket is laser focused. A solid 400 to 450 horsepower daily is pretty easy for this one. Strong B tier. Next, we got the Buick 3.8 liter supercharged L67. This is a really old one, but it's a goodie. It's B tier because it comes with a supercharger. It's cheap and it's pretty reliable. With the smaller pulley and supporting mods, you can make around 350 horsepower sleeper. That will annoy most V8s for almost no money. In our next one, we have the GM 3.8 liter NA, so the L36. This is a non-supercharged version of the L67. Why is it in B tier? Because you can find them for $100. I'm just kidding. The aftermarket is really massive for this one, and you have two paths. Add a cheap turbo or find a junkyard L67 supercharger and bolt it on. It's really the definition of a budget B tier build. And last but not least, in B tier, we have the Infiniti VR30D DTT. The new V6 in the Q50s and the new Zs. It's a twin turbo from the factory and makes about around 400 horsepower with just a tune. So why is it only in the B tier? Because of reliability. They're also known for turbo failures and oil pressure issues. It's got some A potential, but it's B tier reliability. Oh yes, we've gotten to the A tier. These are the heavy hitters. These engines are fantastic, and they only miss the S tier by a very tiny margin. In the A tier, starting up, we got the Ford 3.5 liter EcoBoost, the D35. The engine that's everything from the F-150 to the Ford GT. It comes from the factory with twin turbos. It's kind of cheating, but I'll allow it. It's A tier because its budget is just a tune away for some really good horsepower. You can get it up to about 500 horsepower. The internals are strong and the aftermarket is massive. It only misses the S tier because you're upgrading boost and not really adding it. Next, we got the Audi 3.0 liter T, the V6 supercharged one. You'll find these in the S4s, the S5s, and the Q7s. And that T is a lie. It's supercharged. This is one of the most robust tunable V6s ever made. The stock internals can handle well over 500 horsepower. A simple dual pulley upgrade and a tune gets you there. The only reason it's not an S tier is German parts and German labor cost. It's an A tier, but bring your wallet. Next, we got the Alfa Romeo 2.9 liter twin turbo. This one is the Ferrari-derived V6. It's an absolute monster and a work of art. The only reason it's an A tier, not an S tier, is good luck finding one, and good luck affording parts, and probably good luck finding a tuner nearby. It's an A tier potential, but C tier for practicality. Next, we got the Jaguar 3.0 liter V6, the AJ126. Found in the F-Type, the XF, and several Land Rovers. This thing is right next to the Audi. It's a strong V8 block with 2 cylinders missing. And it comes with a supercharger. It's robust, it sounds amazing, and it's a very tunable. It's A tier for the exact same reasons as the Audi. Incredible engine, but the Jaguar tax on parts is real. And now for the S tier, we got the Nissan VR38 DETT. I mean, this one's a no-brainer, the R35 GTR engine. It was built from day one for the purpose, to handle massive twin turbocharged power. The stock block can hold around 800, 900, maybe even 1,000 horsepower. The only issue is really the budget, is that the car comes in and costs about $100,000, but the engine itself is the definition of the S tier. But we need a real S tier one that's actually like we can all afford here, and that one for me is the Toyota 2GR FE. Yes, the 3.5 liter V6 from the Camry, the Sienna, and the Lotus Evora? Evora. I think that's how you say it. Yes. Why is it in the S tier? Because it has everything. It's really budget. You can buy one of these from the junkyard. Reliability, it has a forged crank, strong rods, and it's overbuilt. Closed deck, block, it can reliably hold 450 to 500 wheel horsepower on stock internals. The aftermarket is massive, supercharger kits, turbo kits, MR2 kit swaps. It really has everything. It's the J series, but way better aftermarket and a stronger block. It has the reliability of a Toyota and the potential of a supercar, and it costs as much as a minivan. This is a V6 I would probably actually build. It's the people's champion, and I think you probably already know that. And that's why it's in the S tier. And that's the list. I know you're gonna disagree. All right, we have a difference in opinion, okay? I know that the VQ fans are already writing novels in the comments, and that's great. Let me know what I got wrong, what did I miss, and what do you think I should have put on here. If you're stuck between going supercharger or turbo, watch this video right here, the turbo versus supercharger. What's the best for your daily driver? Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one on Torque Savvy. Peace.